Hi, welcome along to this unboxing review. I'm going to do a quick video for this LED light. So you'll see that it's an HD-126. So HD-126 LED video light, quite a cheap basic thing straight off eBay. Rotating volume on the side, brightness on the side, multiple battery adapters. We'll show more of that in a minute. Very simple. I think this thing cost me about £12 or so on the net for video, for camera. 3 filters inside, so you've got a diffuse, you've got a CTO, I'm not sure what grade it is yet, I've not quite checked, and you've got a plus green, so you've got the slight pinkish filter in there. So let's open this up. Easier said than done at the moment. Right, let's get a wee screwdriver in here, just tease that out. Okay, definitely easier said than done. Right, so here we are. So the first thing we see when we open this up is the plastic insert. So nothing particularly fancy. We've got a little hot shoe adapter supplied with this. So fairly basic hot shoe adapter. Looks like it's got a locking plate on it that yeah, so it locks to the camera. It tilts, friction based. Just managed to break the clip already. Huh. Not broken, it's just obviously unclipped itself. A bit frustrating. Straight out of the box, and it's trying to fall apart on me. But hey, we'll come over that one. Right, so. Oh my god, it's a piece of junk! Right, that's it, clipped back on again. There you go, it's just literally it unclipped itself. Right, okay, so there's the clip there, there's a stand. So, hot shoe adapter on the bottom. It's got the standard fit for tripod, for a flash. Locks down. Silly little bracket started falling apart. Thumb screw. Seems adequate. We'll put that aside. So we've got a filter. It's a slightly pink filter, as you can probably see here. So there's the white box, there's the filter. So there's the white box. I'll just hold it over the camera. You can see it's diffused as well. So it's a diffused pink tint, basically. You've got the standard diffuser. So you can see how that reacts, how heavily it diffuses. We've got a CTO sort of style. It probably is a full CTO, so it's a reasonable distance, a reasonable density, and again it's a diffused thing. So there you go. So here's the lamp itself. It's fairly decent thing. Let's move all this junk out the way for a second. Right, so there is the lamp itself. Lots of LEDs. I take it going by the name is 126. You can count them. There you go. You want to count them? Go, 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 go. Right, you can count them. Right, 126 LEDs. HD-126. You can see on the side there's an on-off volume. It's a brightness control. I think it rotates 2.5 lengths worth, so it's probably, I don't know, it rotates about 270 degrees, probably not fairly normal. So round the back you've got a battery test button. You've got a clip that lets you remove the back clip. You can clip in a variety of different camera batteries here. I don't have any of the correct ones to hand, but the box seems to suggest it comes with Panasonic, Sony, lithium mounts inside, so you might recognise that. It's clipped in place. So we can unclip this and remove that, which gives us another set of clips inside there for mounting different batteries again. So fairly basic, fairly straightforward, nothing really fancy. Takes 6 AA batteries as well. So 6 AA's can go in there, or your variety of battery clip style things. So that's the basics of that. I actually bought 2 of them, so I'm going to swap over to the other one, which has got batteries in it, in a second. But I'll just rebuild this one. There's some electronics in there, obviously, for the dimming circuitry. The LEDs are on a silvered plastic. The whole thing's plastic. It's okay. I think that's a metal plate on the bottom for the hot shoe, not the hot shoe, but for the 1/4 inch thread. So that would basically screw on there. It's got a lock-in pin to stop it rotating, so that goes on pretty securely. Feels good. You've got the tilt bracket again, which I'm scared to tilt because it looks like it's broken already, but not worried about that. A bit of screw might help that, a bit of glue might hold that together. So that's the basic unit itself. Quite happy with that. You'll see that these filters slide in. There's a slot down the side here, and it's that slot that these fairly tight fit, but they fit in there, and they slide in, giving you a decent I mean, it's not going to come out, it clips in reasonably well. It's pretty secure, and that's going to be solid. Am I happy with the build quality? Yeah, it's fine. I've not done any colour balances or any tests or anything on it yet, but it does seem fine. It's held together with some screws. The one thing I do notice about it, which is quite annoying, is it doesn't come with any DC in port. So there's nowhere to plug external 12-volt power or anything, which is going to annoy me. I'd like to do that. I guess I could easily solder something together and sort that out, so I can imagine these are going to come apart at some point soon. Although I might see if I can try to get a dummy battery and maybe do it that way. But anyway, so that's one of these lamps. I think I said earlier I bought 2 of them. So here's the other one. It's the same, it's loaded up with some batteries in it. So there's 6 AA's in there. These are Eneloop 1.2, 1.9 amperes. They're reasonably well charged at the moment. They've been used in flashes for quite some time, so they're acceptable but not fully charged. They fit in there, they're held in place by that plate, which is good. So there's your test LEDs. There's 6 LEDs in the back. When you press the switch, I've currently got 3 full brightness LEDs and 1 that's a bit dimmer. So that's 3 full brightness, 1 that's a bit down on the others. So it's not bad. It gives you a reasonable analog looking scale. I've not tested how the intensity of these change, but it does look like it's going to be okay. So I'll take this and switch it on. So it switch it on to minimum brightness, and there's a tiny wee bit of brightness coming off there. Now I can't really turn it up an awful lot brighter without blowing out the camera or having to change settings a lot, so I'm going to turn it up to a sort of lowish brightness. Okay, so you can see it's throwing a bit of light off here, and it's starting to flare out a bit. But you'll see the angle on this. So I'll put this in the middle of the frame and I'll just tilt it towards the camera. You'll see it gets quite bright suddenly there, and then it drops away again. So it's quite directional. I mean, you'll see from this, if you look at the side on the box, it is fairly much in a beam, whereby there's no brightness out with that sort of angle. So it is reasonably directional. So that's pretty much nearly at its minimum brightness. It's off, it comes on just no more, and the brightness goes up, and I'm going to start flaring out the camera. It's already overexposed and I'm way down, so you'll see it goes up quite dramatically. Let me just get an idea on what we're doing here. So there's the box there. So let me just put the box in the centre of the frame. So Magic Lantern tells me that's sitting at about 85% exposure there. So I'm gonna try to change the camera from around here without confusing things. Right, so I'm now shooting at 31st of a second at f6.4, 800 ISO, and Magic Lantern seems to be suggesting that's 64% exposure on that white. So that's a 64% on the white. So I'll hold this about 16 inches away and above, and I'll turn it up to pretty much its bottom brightness. We're straight up to 79, we're up to 84%, we're up to 90%, 97, 100%, and the brightness on this is about a third of the way up. So I'm going to stop down again. Everything's going to get kinda dark, but that's exactly the point. So there's f11 at a 31st of a second at 800 ISO. Magic Lantern's seeing the white section is currently exposed at a 44%. Just for your information, I'm running up there, there's a 500 watt halogen flooding off the ceiling, so that's what's filling the room at the moment. So there's quite a lot of light coming into this room right now. So about 16-17 inches away again, I'm going to turn this on. So Magic Lantern says 45%, 47, 54, 72. So I'm getting up to I'm getting up to an 80% exposure there. That's at 2.5 feet, 800 ISO at f11. So that's pretty bright when you consider what it is. If I bring that down to about 8-9 inches away, it's obviously it's overexposed again. So I'm just going to step up the aperture again just to see. f11, f12, f14, f16. So to give you an idea of the exposure of this for anyone who cares about these things, which is me, an 800 ISO, 31st of a second, at f16, this light will give you 100% exposure at approximately 1 foot. Now, since we're here, I'll show you this control. You'll not be able to see it on the actual unit because it's exposed probably too dark, but the brightness is at the top. Now if I take that down by nearly a control width, i.e. the height I can turn it on one movement, it didn't change. The exposure doesn't change at all in the first third, let's say, of its rotation. The next third is exactly where it starts, and it takes it down quite some way. The next third, which is a wee bit less than a third, is the off. So all of the power is controlled by the bottom half to 2/3 of the control. A bit of a nuisance, but that's the way it is. I'm down to 3 LEDs worth of power on the unit on the back there. So just to give you an idea, so let me just stand up here. So there's no, so at the moment, just to give you an idea, there's that 500 watt halogen, as I say, flooding off the ceiling, throwing a general soft light into the room. If I turn the light on, I'm now 3 foot away. If I now turn the light on, there's nothing there, nothing there. So if I turn it up, we're up to a 52%. So I guess that's just checking. So 52%. That's quite a decent exposure difference there, at 2 to 3 feet away, and that's at f16 at 800 ISO. So there's a fairly good set of light coming off this. I'm going to stop this initial review here as my battery is getting quite low. I'll probably come back with more later. So there you go. That's an initial guide to the LED video light.